Well, welcome back, everyone. I would say that this here could be the most important segment. Now, it's not going to be the flashiest or the most exciting, but this is kind of almost like the building blocks. You can set this up correctly, and you're going to be, more productive. I would say easily 100% more productive, and you're also going to be cutting your time spent at the computer. I want you guys to live, happy, healthy lives. So that includes worrying about your health, includes, not spending all your time in front of a computer and then ignoring friends and family. The reason you want to do this is for freedom, having fun. So yeah, what we're doing today is setting you up with a system where you can get away, you can go on vacations, you can go whenever you want. I just love the idea. Well, I did something crazy, and I was totally scared to do this. Right before my launch, I went to England. I got back on Monday, and my pre-launch started on Tuesday. Obviously, when you're online, you can do things, over the internet. But it was still, I had an office in the Ukraine running. I had an office in Wisconsin running. But if you set it up correctly, using some of these rules, it makes it so much easier. There's no way I could have pulled off that launch or even the vacation just 2 years ago. So a lot of things we're going to be going through, even I have to struggle with and make sure I'm following these rules, but it's definitely worth it. All right, you need to change your mindset. Start thinking that you can do it. You will do it. I'm sure there's some of you sitting there thinking, well, I don't know if I can do all this stuff. I've talked to you about how I don't do any of I outsource everything. I don't do any of this stuff. So it proves that you can do it. I have some really cool software. My sites can create opt-in pages and download pages and put them online and with just a few clicks of the button and add videos and all this stuff. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I just come up with the ideas and have other people do it. So get that in your mind. If you haven't made any of your money, you will make your first $1. Then, before you know it, you're going to make your first $100. And then $100 a month, $500 a month, $1,000, $5,000. But you've got to make that first $1 first. You're not going to come out and hit a home run and make $1 million, next weekend. It's a process. But if you do it correctly and efficiently and follow what we're going to be giving you this weekend, it will happen. You've just got to follow what we're doing. And a lot of it is modeling, copying, and that's what we do. So this is just a process. This is going to be some of the rules we follow. The big thing is the mindset. You just got to get it in your mind that you can do it. And after you make that first $1, you'll be amazed. The light bulb turns on like, whoa, I can do that. Then all of a sudden, your next goal could be, I want to make $10,000 with the product launch. And after you do that, you go, whoa, $10,000 was not that hard. I can do $20,000, then $50,000. I mean, it's amazing how you keep, raising the bar. Even myself, when I get in to show you what my last launch is going to do, I've run those numbers 5 times because even I can't believe it still. When I add up the numbers, I'm like, because it's almost doubled what our plans were, what we were expecting. And it doesn't look all that great from the beginning numbers, but when you expand it out because of the correct sales process, we talked about creating the product correctly, the sales process correctly. After you expand it out, I look at those numbers, and I still think, man, am I making a mistake? I've done those a couple times. I'm still shocked at the numbers, the good numbers. All right, I don't know why this isn't coming up the correct way. It's throwing all the things at once. I'm going to have to look at that later. Staying organized. That is a big thing. I don't know how many of you, you start downloading this stuff. When you first get into it, you don't even realize what you're doing. Like, oh, this is free. You just download it and dump it in a folder. Then before you know it, you've got all this stuff dumped in there and you can't find stuff and you're going back and forth. It's not too late to get organized. What I do is I open up 2 folders. I use a PC. I open up 2 folders, and in the new folder, I'll create all these different folders. So with me, it's all about folders. The first one is I keep everything in my documents. I have websites. Inside that website folder, I have each website. Inside each one of those, I have more folders. So if I'm going into my newest, last product, Send Button Profits, it would be a folder that says copy, another graphics, content, and it would just break it down that way. And then I get into content, and even that is all the content on that site. I've got folders for each one of those. You know, the videos, the opt-in templates, all the different things. You've just got to get reorganized. And even when it comes to things that you've purchased, I've done that where, like, where did I put that? Like, I just bought this thing. I downloaded it. Where's it at? You got to do a search and you got to find it. Now I just go in. I know a folder, products purchased. Then I break it down as to who the person is. In this case, that's the easiest way. So, Frank Kern, Jeff Walker, Telman Knutson, Mike Filsame, I'll know exactly where it's at. My master resale right type products, I'll have a master resale right folder, private label right folder. Inside of that, I have broken down into what the products are. If it's a copy product, if it's a traffic product. So just come up with a system and use it. It's going to get you more efficient across the board. Now that's computer-wise. You're also going to have paperwork and stuff offline. And a lot of people like to work with papers. I know I keep all my notes. And then as a business, you're going to always have legal paperwork and all that junk from the state. But you should have some type of little file system. Maybe a little short 2-drawer. You could have just start with the accordion file type. Just go to an Office Max and buy one of those and just keep your paperwork in there. Again, try to keep it organized. I'd recommend a 2-drawer file system with the manila folders, and you just have each one of those broken down. So if you tend to be the type that likes to copy things off and have it in your hands, then you might have a folder copy. Another one, a swipe. It could be swipe copy. We'll talk about that in a bit, where you're copying sales letters and squeeze pages and stuff like that. But the whole thing is about being organized. And also keeping your work area clean. There's been some studies done with just by keeping things off your desk, even though you think you're concentrating on that one piece of paper or on your laptop, by eliminating the clutter around you, it makes you more efficient. I have to struggle with that every day. I tend to be messy and like piles. I know where everything is, but I tend to have piles all over the place. I want you to buy 2 calendars. The first one is going to be a small daytime type calendar. Now this is you don't have to follow it, don't go out and buy Daytimer. What you may want to do is, come up with something that replaces these after I explain them. You might find out that you love using Google Calendars. So you don't have to buy it. You can use it online. I tend to not like Google Calendars because with my mind, I need it in front of me. I need to know, okay, 3 o'clock I've got this interview, 5 o'clock I've got this. And I can see it, and I have it right out there, and I can't miss it. If you don't have that Google Doc open or some type of reminder system, I tend to miss it. So I like physical calendars. What you're going to do on that is you're going to put down all your important dates, times, things you're doing. What you could do is even, I tend to use 3 things. I use a to-do list, so I don't have that all on my day timer, because then you tend to get to the next day and you still have everything written down. So I like to work off of one big to-do list. I prioritize what's important, what's not important, things that need to be done either today or depending on what website I'm working on, what needs to be done the quickest. The big calendar. Now that is the big thing that I think helps me the most. I use 2 big, huge calendars. We've got the big dry erase boards. You can get the at Office Max again for maybe, $10. You can get the kind of the laminated ones that you can dry erase. On those, you're going to want to put down, if you're doing affiliate marketing, you're going to want to put down all the different launches that are happening. So if you go to my office, I have everything down there. I also put down the times that I've got important interviews that I can't miss, webinars, stuff where I'm like a panelist or giving the talk. But you want to put down when things are launching. So maybe there's a pre-launch start date to a promotion and the launch time. Another thing on that big calendar, I want you now putting down every time you've got a deadline. If it has to do with you're going to put up a blog, you're going to put that down on your calendar. If you're launching a site It could be even something simple. But I want you putting that on your calendar. That deadline, the act of creating a deadline, a time that it's due, can double your productivity alone. Don't leave anything to chance, nothing floating around. You want to have everything written down, when you're going to do it, and exactly what you're going to do. Yeah, I don't know why those are popping up all at once. Working on only one project at a time. That is huge. There's a big difference. You might feel better working on 5 things at once and moving them all a step closer forward, but ultimately, you're not getting anything done. They're not a project that's 99.9% completed. In most cases, can't make money if you don't have it. And a lot of times, you will launch a product and it's not totally done. There are things you need to tweak. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual launching, getting it where it can be taking in money. That's what you want to work on a project until you do that. And you want to bring in, you want to really look at your to-do list, your ideas. A lot of you have tons of ideas. You want to predict which one is going to be the easiest to do, then also make the most money. I had talked a little earlier before we started about you might have an awesome idea, but it's too big. It might take you a year to complete. If I had done my Send Button Profits that I just launched, if I had done that 2 years ago, I don't think I would have pulled it off. I would have had big problems. I just wasn't ready for it. So just like you guys, if you're just starting off, you may want to just start off with that one simple thing. When Liz talks about blogs, bam, that might be the first thing. Or a squeeze page, just getting a simple squeeze page up. You know, your whole idea to launch this fitness site that's going to change the world, that's going to have to come later. You're just not going to be ready to do it now. Or what will happen is you'll launch it because you're not ready. It'll maybe get launched, but you don't do it correctly. So yeah, start off with those ones that are going to be bringing in some money the quickest. And we'll kind of lay out that process to help you decide which ones to. The master to-do list for each site. If you're just starting, you might not know what needs to be done. That's when you're going to get in and start copying other sites, modeling them. I should say model, not copy. And when we do say the word copy, I don't mean like rip off, word for word, plagiarize, anything like that. I mean copy the process. So I can say that I copied, a bunch of stuff from the Launch Tree launch. But did I really copy it? No, I modeled it. But I use that word I interchange copy and model all the time. But your to-do list, everything you think you need for that site, you're going to write out. And you are going to forget stuff. And then what you're going to do is add that in, because you're going to use that template for the next site, and you'll forget things in the next site. And then you'll use that for the third site, fourth site, until you can just rattle it. It's like, no, you just go right down. Okay, buy a URL. Great, got that done. Need to get hosting or add it. If you've already got a reseller account, you've got that done. And you just go down. Oh, Aweber, already got a GetResponse Aweber account. That's done. And you just, before you know it, you're rattling off through these things. But you will forget things. We had a major mess up. 3 minutes before we launched, we had never done a physical product before. So we had nothing on the checklist for a physical product. And I don't know how Leslie figured it out. We were doing fake orders and stuff, and then right before we launched, we were doing live orders. We were charging the visas. Everything's working great. Somehow she noticed on the pull-down menu, because we've never done a physical product, we've never needed addresses before. Pull-down menu has no Canadian provinces, nothing at all, just the U.S. states. 3 minutes before we're supposed to launch, we had no way for Canadian people to order because of the pull-down menu. So we've got to quick tell our coders, get rid of that. Well, if you could find a pull-down menu, different one, insert that, but they couldn't even find one. So yeah, we launched 20 minutes late because we had to quick change that out. We never had that on our list. We never even thought of ordering. We ordered, going by the state. So, well,